Thank you, Thomas, for giving me the moment for present Indonesia Steel Market outlook for this Asia Steel Market 2022. I will start with the Indonesia Steel Demand Project. Basically, we can see from this slide the historical number from 2017 to 2021, and then forecast number for 2022. We can see that Indonesia steel consumption in 2021 is increased after the impact on the first year of the pandemic. So during this pandemic condition in 2021, we still be able to manage to have a little growth in the industrial the steel industry business, focusing on the government project on infrastructure. In 2021, it's increased by 2.6% out of 15.5 million tons. And this is based on the projected national economic growth in 2022. The national steel consumption projected to be increased around 5% in 2022 to 16.3 million tons per annum. Indonesia's steel consumption in 2021 is 15.5 million tons per annum. This figure shows as an increase of 2.5% from the previous year. Despite of increasing in consumption, import volume is still quite high with a market share of 43%. Meanwhile, national production supply after deducting export net production it was around 57%. So in 2021, construction sector is the largest steel user sector with a total contribution of 78% and followed by the automotive sector with 11.3%. We can see that most of the steel end user sector contribution is the highest is still based on the construction, mostly from the government project infrastructure. For steel investment and utilization capability itself, right now for the hot roll coil, we have around 1.2 billion US dollar investment, and some record in production utilization as of 2022 is around 49%, and then the import volume in 2021 out of the total overall hot roll coil usage is around increase around 14% year on year. So from this kind of number, we can see there is a sufficient steel capacity of national producer investment to supply domestic demand. However, high import portion, especially for HRC and CRC, is also burden in the utilization rate. Out of the 12 billion total investment of steel carbon, Indonesia average utilization for steel carbon itself is only 54%. And the total import is actually increased 22% based in 2021. Steel import volume of steel imports in 2021 was 5.8 million tons. Is actually increased around 22% compared to 2022 of 4.76 million tons per annum. And then and the average of Indonesia's steel industry capacity utilization rate only reached 54%. Indonesia right now is in overcapacity condition. Production capacity is greater than consumption, and Indonesia government need to put attention to this existing investment. In 2020, due COVID-19 outbreak impact, operation has stopped and the demand is decreased up to 50% in the first half. But in the second half, there was an increase in demand. Indonesia's steel capacity utilization in 2022 was still very low. Although there is an increase of average steel capacity utilization of about 10% from 43% in 2019 to 53% in 2020. Almost all steel sector have capacity utilization that lower than 80% of expected utilization, except for the plant. High capacity utilization of wire rod is mainly driven by the government construction project. Indonesia government committed to continue its policy of increased domestic production consumption through the P3DN or peningkatan penggunaan produk dalam negeri or local content usage. And we do hope this will be one of the item that will create more utilization in the future. Now we are back to Krakatau Steel business itself. So basically, Krakatau Steel is a state-owned company. Is 80% belong to the government of Indonesia and 20% is belong to public because we are listed in Bursa Efek Jakarta. Our steel business itself in Krakatau Steel we have the iron and slab iron and slab producer, and then long product producer, and then steel coil producer. And our strength is actually in the steel coil producer. And then we also have some subsidiary in a steel construction. We have steel profile and bar producer, PT Krakatau Baja Konstruksi, and we have a pipe producer, PT Krakatau Pipe Industry, and trading and procurement, Krakatau Global Trading. And we also have a non-steel sub-holding infrastructure that covering our industrial estate, PT Krakatau Sarana Infrastructure, and our port services provider and logistic, PT Krakatau Bandar Samudra, our industrial water provider, PT Krakatau Tirta Industri, and then power plant Krakatau Daya Listrik. And we also have some of EPC company, PT Krakatau Engineering, and then IT company that support our digitalization on all information technology, PT Krakatau Information Technology, and our sponge iron producer, PT Meratus Jaya Iron and Steel. Above that, we also have some major joint ventures with, first one is with POSCO. We have Krakatau POSCO. Krakatau Steel have 30% in that joint venture. And then we have PT Krakatau Nippon Steel Synergy. We have 20% in that joint venture. Then we have PT Krakatau Osaka Steel. We have 20% in that company. This is a joint venture with Osaka Steel and Nippon Steel. And PT Latinusa, we have 20% of that. And then PT Karisma Switiko Makmur, and we have 30% under KS Group. This is some of our product that currently mostly sell in domestic market. So we are actually the leader of the market leader of HRC in Indonesia. We have capacity 3.9 mtpy with our new latest insertion of HSM number 2 with the thickness around 1.4 to 225 millimeters. And then we have a cold roll coil plant with the capacity 850,000 ton per annum. The thickness is 0.2 to 3.3 millimeters. And then we have wire rod with the capacity 450,000 per annum with the diameter 5.5 to 22 millimeters. For our Krakatau POSCO joint venture, this joint venture produce steel plat with the capacity 1.5 million ton per annum, and then steel slab with the capacity 3 million per annum. And with Krakatau Pipe Industry, we have welded pipe with the spiral capacity around 150,000, and then ERW 220,000 per year. And then for Krakatau Baja Konstruksi subsidiaries, we have bar and section with a total 300,000 per year. And then with Krakatau Nippon Steel Sumikin joint venture, we have galvanized and cold rolled steel product with capacity 0.5 mtpy. And then with Krakatau Steel Osaka Steel joint venture, with this produce steel rebar section and flat bar with a capacity around 0.5 mtpy. As the only national steel state-owned enterprise, PTKS is in the best position to support national development. Currently, Indonesia steel consumption is still very low. We still have a lot room for improvement. So we believe in the future we can uh, give more contribution in order to develop the industry, develop the urban development, and also, of course, the domestic system in Indonesia. Over the years, PTKS has built an integrated infrastructure and supporting business network in Cilegon and throughout Indonesia and created a complete business portfolio. Our portfolio in Cilegon is connected to Java Railway, uh, and also we have our own toll road access. We have our largest bulk port, and we have sustainable industrial water supply, and we have dual generating sources for the power generation, and in industrial and commercial area facilities. Right now, we're number one market leader in Indonesia for HRC, which is control more than 30% of the total domestic market share. And PTKS achieved business excellence by utilizing the steel industry cluster in Cilegon. And we will go downstream product and of course support all of those business in Cilegon. Currently, our capacity reached 6.9 million tons per annum, which is integrated throughout the value chain. That's all from me. Thank you.